up? It's John. It's the 12th of March, Saturday. It's 3:27 p.m. Ooh, I just realized I said my name is John. Ugh, I'm really used to that now. I guess John could be like a fucking nickname. I really don't know. I know I don't mind it. I've gotten kind of used to it. I'm gonna elaborate a little bit more than I did in that first video called Trying to Be Comfortable with Myself. A simple explanation of how I got to this point was this, okay? Alright. So take a cis guy, take his body, right? His body has certain beauties that I'll never have. And maybe someone's like, yes, duh, Well, yes, duh, yeah, you're right, I know that, I know this. But what I'm talking about is, like, the beauty I'm talking about, like, okay, you can say everyone's beautiful because everyone's different. Yeah, okay, I get that. Everyone's different, so everyone's weird or beautiful, whatever you want to call it in their own way. Yeah, you're right. But, I'm going to tell you, my type of beautiful I'm talking about is, like, the muscular shit, like, the pecs and the biceps and the abs and whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the natural beauty that his body allows him to have because, it's built for that. And mine's not, see? But ironically, his body will never be built for the beauties that my body allows me to have. I don't always appreciate my body's beauty, you know what I mean? Like, in my point of view, what I'm talking about is, like, the curviness, like the shape of, like, just to be frank, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be real. I don't always appreciate, like, and I really haven't always appreciated, like, my body's feminine beauties. The most basic shit. I mean, the curves of my body, like, the curves of, like, on my sides, and, like, the curve in my back, the dimples in my back, and shit like that, and, the shape of my breast. Like, I haven't always appreciated that, and, it's just something that it happened on its own, puberty and all that crap, and then I just had to, like, roll with the punches, and then I remember, like, my mom was telling me, basically to roll with the punches too, like, she was like, okay, she was buying me bras, and she was like, yeah, this is your life now, so basically get used to it, and you have to learn to deal with it, and stuff like that, it just was, I can't say I would have been happier. Like, to speak for, like, a 7-year-old me before puberty and all this crap started to happen, I can't say that I would have been happier to have, like, the muscular beauty and the stiff, slim, muscular, cis male beauty instead, because I'll never know what that was like, so I can't speak on it. But ironically, I'm trying to love mine, I'm trying to love what I have and the beauties that my body provides for me. Again, beauties that a cis guy will never have, Yeah, I'm jealous. I can still admit, yeah, I'm still jealous. Like, the deeper voice and the face shape and the Adam's apple and all that shit, yeah, I am. I'm still fucking jealous. And the physical attributes, I am. But the things I've seen from trans guys, yeah, they grow facial hair, but, I'm pretty sure other cis guys can tell you, well, my hair didn't come in until I was, like, 25, or mine only grew right here, and it stayed like that for 7 years. Everyone's different. Everyone has their own stories. Yeah, fuck that. What I'm talking about is, trans guys, I've noticed, the facial hair starts out growing a certain way in certain parts. Maybe someone's like, well, there's only a few selective parts that facial hair can grow in anyway. Exhibit A. No, okay? I know what I'm talking about when I say this. And it takes a really, really, really long time, it seems. Like, they're about, like, 2 years on T before they have basically, like, a full, good little, somewhat medium-ish thickness. And that's only, like, on, like, the sides, It's just, anyway. The other guys, it can be, like, 8 months. Yeah, I get it. Everyone's different. But I've noticed that trans guys, like, okay, even the ones that, like, really work out, and they're really, like, buff or whatever, like they're really fit in like that masculine way. And I'm gonna also say this, maybe those physical masculine beauties, maybe it's not even like just about being a man to me, like being a whole man. Maybe like I'm just jealous of it because it aims directly towards my masculinity, like my masculine side. And again, I'm just having to face and own up to, well, that's the part of masculinity that I'll never be able to have, so I'm mourning it right now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's not about like being a man, like a full-on man, right? Maybe it's just about like my masculinity as a whole. I mean, because what's really a man anyway? Like, what's really a woman? What's really a man anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like, for a long time, I've been asking questions like that. Well, what are boy colors? Why are they boy colors? Why can't girls like this? Why do only girls have to do this? You know, so I mean, I've been asking questions like this for a while. So you can say I've been like gender aware or whatever for a little while. But yeah, I just realized maybe it's not even just about like being a man. Maybe it's just about fucking masculinity. And then you can ask yourself, well, what's masculinity anyway? I mean, I'm guilty for this too. Like, I try to, well, shit. I'd like to think that, what is it? That things are fluid. You know what I'm saying? I like to think that. I like to think that, that everything's fluid and things don't have to be a certain way. It's like thinking outside the box. If this doesn't work, we'll try this. What about this? You know what I'm saying? Well, how about this? Think in between the bounds and outside of the bounds. Think of everything you can. And even things you never would have thought of. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I just had to say that. Maybe it's not like about being a man. Maybe it's just about like masculinity in itself. And how I feel like my masculinity is shifting a bit more. And maybe that doesn't mean that I'm, necessarily like a trans guy. But whatever. I'm just saying. Those physical beauties of the male body, I have to realize there are things his body's never gonna give him that I'll have. And even though I didn't wish this stuff, the beauties that my body provides or whatever, I didn't wish it. But I've seen trans guys who, they're physically working out, and to be honest, in my point of view, their body, it's still not good enough. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still not good enough for me. And I would hate to try to bullshit myself, with having such, high heights in my mind of where I'm going to be, how I'm going to look, and then, my body, like I said, even if I get, like, really pumped and, like, I have some of those masculine qualities, it's never going to be, quote, like the regular way. So it's still never ever going to look the same. Maybe someone's like, well, that's fine because every guy's different anyway. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about like this simple, everyone's different and it's beautiful. I'm not talking about that stuff. Literally, like, the mood I'm in, I'm not in this whole, like, oh, everything's fluid, everything's great, everything's okay, and free love. I'm not in that mood. You just have to, you have to get to the point. You just gotta be real. It's not the same. And I would hate to bullshit and alter myself and get on these fucking hormones. And yeah, I'd enjoy, the deeper voice. I'd play around with it. Yeah, I'd love that. I'd love the facial change and maybe a little scruff, whatever. I love that. And messing, with, my facial hair, styles and whatever. I'd love that. Shaving here and there, shaving this, shaving that, leaving this. I'd love that. But I'm going to tell you, the body, the physical, again, those physical beauties, they will never be the same. Never, ever be the same. And I notice other trans guys and how they look, and I still notice the curves on their body, and it just, like I said, I hate to bullshit, and I'd hate to get into that. I hate to alter myself and get a surgery, like top surgery, and feel like I'm going to have these pecs that look like this cis guys. And to be honest, like, cis guys, on average, their bodies look somewhat the same, somewhat similar anyway, you know what I'm saying? When they work out their chest, guess what? The pecs pop out a certain way. I just hate to bullshit myself and, again, have such heights in my mind, such expectations, and then because my body isn't made to be a certain way, because it's not a certain way, you know what I'm saying, then I'm fucked. And I've already done so much that I can't take it back. And I'm stuck with it. I'm stuck with this ultimate tease of it never being complete enough. It never just being just right enough. I'm never complete. And again, that'll make me feel weak. That'll make me feel weaker. Except the kicker now, like that time, in that scenario, that instance will be, well, fuck. I really, really look like, I really look close to the fuckers now. But yet I'm still not like them because this, and this. These seemingly tiny little tweaks. But they make the biggest difference. Like I said, I noticed on trans guys, like, they still have the curves of the body. Especially the curves of the back. They still have that. The curves of the sides. And they try to pump up their chest and everything like that to get that V shape. But I'm still not feeling it. And I hate to psych myself out for something that's just, it's never going to be, quote, how it's supposed to be. It's never going to be right for me. Same thing with the hormones. Like I said, I like to play around and have like the deep voice, but I'm going to tell you, maybe get hairier, but I'm going to tell you it's not worth it. To like, what is it? What is it like those old sayings? Don't do it half-ass? Really? It's not worth it just to get somewhere close to where, it's not good enough to only be like 72%. No. Maybe it's greed. And again, maybe it's just an example of, well, as an individual, you need to love your body how it is. You got to love yourself. And, no one's perfect. There's no 100%. You are 100% already because what? No. I'm not talking about all that sympathetic, free love and the world's great. I'm not talking about all that bullshit. Like, I'm just got to be real. For me in my eyes, because again, like, I made it obvious I'm not really happy with my body already. That's obviously the problem, you see? There's discomfort there in my mind and with my body. And it's like, if I can get rid of the discomfort, then I won't feel the need to alter. If I don't feel the need to alter and hide, which is what this binder does that I'm wearing right now, if I don't feel the need to do that, then I'll get over this. And then there won't be any more of this stuff in my head, you know what I'm saying? And I'll still always be trans in a way. And again, just not in the way I thought. Like I said, I am trans, just not in the way that I thought. Like the typical bandwagon train with taking hormones and this and this and this. And don't get me wrong, I've seen Ryan Casada and other dudes who have like gone on TV and they've gone on for a while, maybe gone back on, whatever. And Ryan Casada, he's chosen specifically not to have hormones. That's cool. And I was like, damn, you a brave one for that. Like, I never would have thought about that. Like, it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that strikes me as something, that's something. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. But he's comfortable. I would love to be that comfortable. See, I'm not comfortable with not having hormones. You know what I'm saying? It just, unless it's going to take me to a certain point. And like I've said, I'm not very impressed with the results that I've seen from other trans guys. And the same thing like with bottom surgery. Other trans guys have said this themselves. Bottom surgery is always like a maybe so kind of thing. Like, it's kind of like an iffy thing with trans guys because it's like, well, do I want it or not? It's a lot of money. And then kind of the same thing. Sorry about that. Kind of the same thing of what I'm saying. Do I want to blow all this money? Do I want to go through a surgery, go through all this fucking pain, go through the recovery of the surgery, then look down and I'm still not satisfied? Look down at what I have and I'm still not satisfied? Or after the surgery, after months of this surgery, after fucking, irreplaceable money that can never be refunded, this part of me that I paid for and that I put so much energy and devotion, spiritual, mental, that kind of connection into this part of my body, this new part of my body I'm supposed to love. It doesn't function how it's supposed to. Or it doesn't function the way I thought it was. And now I'm uncomfortable about that. Or ironically, there's something that goes wrong with that new body part. And then you have to go back and fix that and try to get used to that. And it's no. You know what I'm saying? So even other trans guys, they've said that, well, other trans guys, to be honest, to just be blunt, they've said it doesn't meet their standards, basically, bottom surgery. Neither of them. metoidioplasty or phalloplasty. It's not really good enough. It doesn't meet their standards. And then, of course, trans guys, they've said other reasons. Some of those reasons are along lines of the reasons that I've just said, the money, and it's kind of a lot to use that part of your body, especially after, it still doesn't make you feel comfortable, or, something physically goes wrong with that body part, like those are the reasons why some trans guys, they don't even want to do it. But ironically, it's based on like the same level. What's the point of getting there if it's not all the way like I want it to be? And maybe someone's like, well, how do you know how it's supposed to be, how you want it to be, how it's supposed to be if you never had it? Yeah, you're damn right. But see, it's just not worth going there, altering myself at all, because like I'm 100%, I'm complete right now. My body is completely 100% me. It's whole, you know what I'm saying? And even to take hormones, and I know guys like they get on hormones and then they go off and like they're fine or whatever, but even taking those hormones, just a slip of it, that's still altering my body. And after I do that, I will never be the same. Because once, even if it's just like the tiniest drop of my voice, or a few more arm hairs on my arms, I will forever have altered my body, and I'm never 100% whole again. And then for what? To not even be satisfied, to not even have it like I want it to be. I'll always be uncomfortable. I'll always be comparing myself to, again, the natural beauties that cis guys around me will always have. And because my body doesn't have those natural beauties, isn't made to. But they always have, and I won't, and I'll never be able to have. And no amount of hormones will be able to ever take me there. No surgery, because guess what? It will still never be good enough in my mind. Not good enough compared to how I feel it should be. You know what I'm saying? Like, my body has natural beauties, and I'm trying to just adapt to that. Now, some truths I'm going to spill. My memory's probably going to run out before, I get finished, but I'm trying to get used to things. I'm trying to learn to ignore things and somewhat get used to them. The things I'm talking about are, I'm still probably going to bind on like a regular day-to-day basis because, my chest still doesn't make me feel comfortable. But again, I'm hoping after just maybe spending some time, here and there, maybe without a binder, like in public, I'm hoping maybe in other settings, like, certain places that I go to more often, like school or work or whatever the hell I'm doing, I'm hoping that maybe I'll eventually let go of binding as like a need and necessary, and I'm hoping to slowly like come off binding in a way. I don't know, it's kind of like an addiction, like chocolate, I don't know, like if I'm addicted to chocolate, like I'm only gonna have like a piece a day, like it's little stuff. It's like trying to quit smoking. I'm only gonna smoke 7 today. I'm only gonna smoke 2 here, and it's just slowly. So if I slowly start to stop wearing this, and eventually maybe I'll be free all the time. Anyway, it's hard, man, because it's just it's linked with me, it's linked so much with so much discomfort with my body. So it's not like smoking where I'm literally picking up the cigarette and I'm putting it in my mouth. It's literally in my mind that it has to be with my body. This binder has to be up against my body. You know what I'm saying? Just to go out. That's for just body comfort. Mental comfort. And anyway, fuck. I'm trying to get off binding and be comfortable with having my breasts out. I mean, they're small already, so. But on a tighter shirt like this, they'd be like, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm trying to get used to speaking in my higher voice around people, because most of the time I try to deepen my voice lamely, end up failing, but I try to deepen my voice because I hope that from deepening my voice, they'll give me the pronoun that I want, which is Mr., he, and sir. Now, I still totally love that shit, I would love to live in this world where I'm still called he and Mr., and I could sound like this. Anyway, I've already talked about that. I think that video is called What No One in the Trans Community Ever Says. And I compared it to the golden ticket. like the golden ticket scenario, and then just like the golden ticket scenario. If I can just get off binding and stop, like, get off voice deepening, just go out as this. And then finally, the pronouns, because it's really the pronouns that start all the shit to begin with. I mean, well, as far as, feeling like I was definitely, like a trans guy, and I definitely had to do this and this and this, and had to bind and whatever. Because again, I didn't want to be taken as a female. It's the female pronouns that really got to me. More than just the, more than just the body stuff. Anyway, if I can just, it happened a few days ago, if I can just learn to ignore and somewhat get over, in a way, the female pronouns like she and her, and people saying, oh, she's over there, whatever. Again, I wish that people can just say them, or they, like, oh, they're over there, what. I just want to be me, I don't want to be labeled as anything, hear her, but, whatever. I mean, if that's how it has to be, because I know people love to label things. If that's how it has to be in this world, if I have to, like, take and put up with a little bit of nonsense, fine, I can put up with nonsense from people. And yeah, I'm talking about, like, the female pronouns. If I can just learn to, like, ignore it, what I'm saying, whatever, well, fine, and I can somewhat get over, again, it's about discomfort. If I can ignore it and just get over this discomfort, then I won't have this problem anymore. And these are the 3 discomforts I plan on trying to rid. And in college, yeah, I plan on just introducing myself as just me, as the birth name, and like I said, I'll probably still be binding, but I'll still be going by, like, female pronouns, just going with it or whatever, and, trying to get over it, trying to get over the discomfort. That's me right now. I'm trying to be me. And if people happen to call me she and her and try to put me on, like, a, female volleyball team, whatever. Fuck, I'll be the most butch volleyball player there. But, I'm still me. Kissing all the chicks. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? Really? Maybe someone's like, yeah. No. It's not just a mentality. Fuck. You'd be surprised how often this, that kind of shit's happen. Anyway, really. But of course, typical girls, I want to try to keep that shit on the low. Can't have their girlfriends knowing about that stuff. I remember this one chick I used to date. She used to be really embarrassed that her friends would find out that she was feeling me. Anyway, yeah, she ended up feeling me a lot, and then she didn't even want to keep it a secret anymore. And then her friends, who never liked me, they're always bitches to me. But her friends never liked me. They try to talk her out of it, and they even try to intimidate me, and they try to say, well, she likes dick anyway. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and they stop her from screaming out my name. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is, that's not just a mentality. Like, you'd be surprised. How often this stuff happens. All I'm saying is, these are 3 ways to, like, alleviate discomfort. I just hope it works. I'm trying to get over this, yeah. I'm trying to get over this stuff. I just want to be me. I just want to be me, I just want to be me. But if I am labeled as a girl, fuck, I still know who I am, and I still know that I'll never be this image of, quote, the girl that they expect. The one who shows up to a formal meeting in a fucking dress. And my mom, she's doing the decent thing right now, and she's like, okay, well, you're invited to the wedding. I don't know if I told you that a while ago, like y'all, but, like, she basically was trying to kick me out of the wedding and say I was excluded from the wedding because I'd just be a distraction, and I couldn't come in a suit, couldn't come in dress shoes and whatever. Even though, again, that's just me. That's how I am. Well, of course, she's like, no, I don't want to hear that. You don't have to come like that. Why can't you just do this and da-da? This is my day. Anyway, she was trying to exclude me from the wedding, but now she's like, well, you can come and whatever. It's me. And fuck, if I happen to get labeled like a lesbian or whatever, fuck, I'm just me. Now, I have to say something else. I don't know how I feel about being labeled like a girl's girlfriend. I don't know about that. I mean, there are tiny little things of being called out as a female. I guess I don't mind. I don't know, like maybe being seen as like my girlfriend's like really masculine girlfriend, maybe I wouldn't mind. Because again, maybe it's not about being like a man, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's not about like the man thing. Maybe it's just a masculinity thing. And these are masculinity things I have to learn to try to cope with because there's a shift in my masculinity. Like there's just more of a need for it, obviously. That's why like I want the pronouns to be changed. I want to be seen full out just male, but it's just I don't know. As far as dating, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to be comfortable with being like a girl's girlfriend. I don't know. I really don't know. Like I'm used to the ideal image of being called Mr. and her boyfriend, and I like that. But again, I don't know what kind of girl is gonna date me as her and call me her boyfriend, you know, and get down with me and like, you know, how females do. I don't know how that's gonna work out. I just don't. But again, I guess that's something else. Just like with the female pronouns, I'll have to try to get over and get used to and ignore. I have to try to get used to being called, you know, a girlfriend and shit. What in the world? I have to try to be comfortable with it. Sorry, there was a bee. I don't know if y'all saw that, but there was a bee. Big bee. Anyway, it's springtime. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be comfortable with that. I know I'm not comfortable with it now. But I hope in time I can get over it and I can just be like, yeah, I'm her girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm her man, something like that. I don't know. And something else even bigger. Because this is really like me. Like, I'm always thinking ahead. I don't know, like, trying to imagine my kids. Trying to imagine being married and, like, being called, like, a wife. Like, this is my wife. I don't know. And then I've always seen stereotypical depictions of, like, lesbians. How you see, like, feminine one. You see, like, a really, like, masculine one. It's like, fuck. Now I'm that description. Like, fuck. You know? Like, it's weird. Ugh. And, you know, I guess you can say I like to challenge. I like to be, like, defiant sometimes. Like, I like to prove people wrong. So, again, and knowing me, like, I mean, sometimes I can find, like, masculine women cute and everything like that. You know, but mainly it is, like, the more feminine chicks that I end up dating or whatever. And if they're with me and I'm quote unquote like their girlfriend, you see, like, we have that stereotypical image of the femme and, like, the stud. I don't know. Not that it has to be all bad. I remember when I thought of myself as only just a lesbian or whatever, like a stud, like a stem, whatever. I saw, like, stud and femme couples and I thought they were just the cutest thing. I was like, yeah, you know, I like that. You know, I'd like to be like that, you know. I like a girl who's comfortable enough with me to be like that really masculine half. You know what I'm saying? And she's good with that. And, like, you know, that's my baby girl. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. My battery's getting low. Oh yeah, it's 15%. It's getting low. That's why the light on the camera's fading a little bit. But anyway, I know I'll have to, if I can get over female pronouns, I can probably get over things like, you know, titles of being called a wife, girlfriend. You know, I feel like it just comes, like, with the territory. You know, getting female pronouns out of your life. And to be honest, that's why I was so comfortable in the beginning, and I didn't think much of it. Being called a girlfriend. Like, you know, saying, oh, I'm her girlfriend. I don't know. Because again, it's like it came with the territory. It was like, hey, well, I'm female, so, you know, I guess I'm a girlfriend. Anyway, but of course, my masculinity shifted, and I started to feel like, hey, well, actually, I don't like being called a girl. I don't know what's going on. Anyway. But again, it just shifted. There's nothing I could do. It wasn't me. But like I said, it's really pronouns that really, like, that really got in the way. And it was something that couldn't be ignored. And it was something that made me take a step back and look at other things that, quote, with being a female that I just couldn't ignore. And yeah, it was, another thing was with my breast and how, you know, my image, like how I'm presented. in like the feminine way, like, well, really like my breasts. I haven't changed anything else. Binding is the only thing that I've done, and I like it. I like it a lot because again, I've taken a step back and I've said, hey, well, actually, this makes me uncomfortable, so I'm gonna change this. It was the same thing with the fucking pronouns. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Same thing with my voice. Anyway, but another thing, like I said, it's just like the pronouns. When that started to get to me, like she and hers, like that was a tipping point. And that's like when things really had to change because it was getting too intense. It really was. That's when things really had to change. Like that was like the last straw. I was like, okay, the body dysphoria was enough, but now it's pronouns getting in the way. And again, it just randomly happened one day. It wasn't me. It just randomly happened. All I know is that another weird thing I have to get used to, and again, it comes with the territory of, with the female pronouns. I guess like eventually you just get used to it anyway. Terms like wife and girlfriend, but I mean, I was in this thing of like, I couldn't wait till my kids call me daddy, like daddy's home. Where's daddy? I miss daddy. Picking up my kids like my big muscular arms and like my dress shirts and everything like that. And I guess I can still have that. I've seen like really buff studs or whatever too, but it's just like, fuck. Don't get me wrong. I do feel a type of way, like I'm kind of flip flopping. Like, okay, so now I'm like a stud again. Like I'm just like a really masculine woman. I don't know. Fuck. It's just, yeah. It trips me up. Like I know definitely I am trans in some way. It's just not in the way I thought. Like it's not the hormones and the surgeries, but I know I'm definitely not comfortable with just this basic mainstream way of quote being a girl. Like I know I am more than that. Definitely. It's not just the expression of clothing, because like your expression of clothing and your actual gender identity and your sexuality, all that shit is fucking different. But I'm gonna tell you, definitely have a more masculine expression, but I have a masculine core, masculine center. And there are bits of, gooey blots of femininity too, like where I'm really, really emotional and I want to be held and all this stuff. So that's why it's kind of like a mixture and it's somewhat confusing as fuck. But, yeah. Anyway. I just know that another thing that kind of trips me up is like, okay, so my kids are going to be calling me mom again. Because, again, it comes with the territory, right? If I'm called she and if I'm called her and Mrs. and girlfriend and ma'am and wife, then I'm going to be called mommy too, right? It comes with the territory. Again, it just, I don't know. I'm having to get used to that too. Like, anyway, I guess I don't have to think too much about it. I'm trying to like take it slow and I'm trying to like love me as I am and take it day by day and be slow with all this stuff because it's a lot of, look, I don't have a girl I don't have a single girl, I should say. I don't have a single girl that I'm loving on right now, okay? I mean, there are girls who have my interest. There are girls who come to me and we do whatever we go on. But I'm just saying, I don't have a single girl that I'm like, yeah, that's the one. That's the one I'm sticking it out with. And it's like a for sure set thing. I mean, hell, it has to do with love, so can it really be a for sure set thing anyway? Like people change. You know what I'm saying? People change and whatever. Memories don't. But I'm just saying, there's no girl around me, so I don't have to worry about being called a girlfriend right now. There isn't like any relationship pressure. There's no relationship pressure, so that means that I don't have any kids with the girl because there's no girl to love. There's no kids to have children with. You understand? Like, so I don't have to worry about kids. I don't have to worry about being a wife or a girlfriend. I just have to worry about me. And again, I have to just keep trying to handle myself little by little. Be comfortable with myself. Like, if I can get myself right, I gotta get myself right first. What's that phrase? Like, you gotta love yourself before you can love anyone else. So I'm trying to get myself right. Because I'm gonna tell you, I've already been with, fuck, I'd say all the girls I've been with so far, like, actually, like, as a girlfriend or whatever, in a relationship with, I was with them and I wasn't right. You understand? Like, I was hurting. I was really hurting and I was going through a lot. More body discomfort and gender discomfort and all that crap. But I guess like how can you be with someone and mess with someone like when you're not even like right yourself? So there are things I have to handle and try to fix on my own. Like I said, fuck, if this shit doesn't work, if I can't handle this shit the way that I thought, I guess my route and my path really is the hormones and shit. And I'll just have to get over the fact, that it'll never be this way that I want it to be and whatever. I really don't know, but I'm trying to settle down and love myself as I am right now. Find the goodness of myself as I am. Anyway, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. And it's like, if you can't even do that, like, I'm really doing myself a good favor. Because, like, if I can't even do favors for myself, how can I expect to try to love some other girl? You know what I'm saying? Because there's no point in loving the other girl. Because, see, I'm still hurting myself. I'm still hurting myself. If I'm hurting while I'm with another girl, which, to be honest, with all the girls that I've actually been in a relationship with, like, for a few months or whatever, like, at a time, I was hurting and I wasn't right. I didn't like myself, and you know what I'm saying? But I've gotten used to myself now and comfortable, and I guess that I just gotta get comfortable again with certain things. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. It doesn't have to hurt, I guess, unless I let it, certain things. Unless I start taking control of me and what I want and how I'm gonna fix things and, go about things in life. It doesn't have to hurt a certain way. It won't hurt if I can help it. And obviously, my videos I've been making about crying and shit, like just can't sleep because I'm crying so much. It doesn't have to hurt. And I don't want it to hurt if I can make it so it doesn't hurt. Anyway, that's all I got. I've talked a lot, but these are things I'm trying to do. Like, I'm trying to get over, get off binding, get off voice deepening, and get off the pronoun dysphoria. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. These are the three things